So welcome along to another episode of the Web Marketing Show. If you're a CEO or a business owner, perhaps you manage a business, one of the most crucial things for you to know and understand obviously is web marketing, social media marketing, and how all the pieces fit together. One of the frustrating things is more often than not, a lot of the books that you buy and find on the bookshelves are aimed at technical people, the web developers, marketing people, people who have an understanding about what a gigabyte is, what a terabyte is, how to use programs like Photoshop, InDesign, and all those sorts of things. But as a CEO or a business owner, you may or may not understand how to do that stuff. You may or may not be interested in doing that stuff. What you want to know is what works and what doesn't. So today on the show we have a man named Corey Smith. Hi, Corey.
Hello there.
Welcome to the show. Now, Corey, you've just released a book called Do It Right, a CEO's Guide to Web Strategy. Tell us a little bit about that book and how does it differ from the hundreds of other books that are on the shelves all about internet marketing?
Well, so let me back up a little bit and kind of tell you where I come from.
Sure.
You know, a lot of times when people get into the web space, the reason why they do is because they're a great designer or they're a great programmer. Well, I'm none of those things. I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman first. I have a business degree. And I kind of got into this space almost about 5.5 years ago and decided to start a web business and realized very quickly that I could not do this well without a good team behind me. Yes. So I built a great team that they build the websites and they market the websites for me. And what I do is I consider myself as the chief PR officer for my company. And in trying to help our clients understand a little bit better about how market fit together, we came up with a concept that we call our foundational approach to web marketing. And this foundational approach to web marketing allows us a structured way to view web marketing. It allows us to think of it in a way that matters to the average business owner. So, you know, the foundation of your website starts with the website itself. The marketing efforts start with that website, your web presence. Now, occasionally that web presence could be your LinkedIn page or could be your Facebook page, but the website is where we need to start. Building upon that, just like if you were to build a brick and mortar store, we start with brand awareness. And in the search world, in the web world, brand awareness starts as search engine optimization. And then we build traffic through email marketing and social media marketing. And from there we can really get our web marketing going by a concept we call conversion rate optimization. And that is getting more people to do more things, you the way you want more often. And all those things fit together into how we discuss with all of our clients the foundational approach to web marketing. And therein came my book. Came an opportunity to explain to people in a way that made sense.
Awesome. You've got a copy of your book there. Just give us a bit of a flip through the pages. It's an awesome looking book. Have a bit of a flick through the pages there.
Yep. So there's my family.
It's an awesome picture of the family.
To.
Yep. You've used a fair bit of humour through your book as well. It's very, very easy to read. I'm halfway through it myself at this stage.
Yep.
So just tell us about some of the concepts. So your book's basically aimed at business owners and CEOs and people that really want to know and understand the business behind the methodology as opposed to the technical aspects. So walk us through some of the concepts that you talk about.
Sure. So I mentioned before that business are in first. And I've gotten frustrated over the years talking to people who, especially in the web world, who don't seem to understand that business must come first. That if we really want to be successful in our business, we have to look at the objectives that our business has, and then we work through every step of the way to meet those objectives. And I'm also a firm believer that history can teach us a lot of great things. The reality is, marketing today is no different than it was 100 years ago. The difference are the tools that we have in order to accomplish that marketing. So as I start in my book, I start talking about the 1911 Wright Flyer. The 1911 Wright Flyer was a Wright brothers plane that was purchased strictly for the purpose of being the first to cross the American continent, to either go from New York to Los Angeles or Los Angeles to New York in a 60-day time period. Well, Cal didn't make the trip in time. It took him a bit longer than that. But what was amazing about that story that nobody seems to talk about is the fact that VinFizz, the grape drink sold at every fountain, was emblazoned on the plane, emblazoned on the all the marketing materials, on the train that was carrying the support parts. Yet nobody has ever heard of VinFizz. In fact, you can search the internet over, and you'll find countless information and books about the VinFizz flyer. In fact, you go to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., and they have what is as near to the original as they can. I mean, all the parts were replaced because they broke as they crashed across the United States continent, the American continent. But you can find all this information about the plane, but you can't find anything about the grape drink. And it goes to prove the concept that just because people know you're there, know who you are, it doesn't mean they're going to buy your product. And the tools today for the web allow us to really enhance how we do business, how we market, how we communicate. But the principles of marketing are the same as they've been for years and years.
That's an interesting point, and it's not complicated, is it? Internet marketing, a lot of times as business owners and CEOs, we get all flustered and confused by all the noise that's going on. And like you rightfully said, marketing hasn't changed in 100 years. It's just the tools that we use, the vehicle that we drive. And it doesn't need to be complicated. We don't need to get all, or should I be doing social media marketing? Should I be doing email marketing? What about a website? What about all this? Let's get back to the basics and think, as you say, think business first. And approach it from a business mindset rather than, and unfortunately, and this is why we started this conversation, there's so many books out there that say, you should have this computer with X amount of gigabytes and it needs this size hard drive and you've got to use this server and this web hosting company. No, forget all that. Let's just get back to business. What is it that, what business are we in? What's the message that we want to convey, and who are the people that we want to convey it to? And then we can start looking at avenues that we can bring that message across, whether it be social media marketing, whether it be a website, whatever the situation is. So it's an interesting take that you've got on it, a book that's written particularly for CEOs and business owners to really understand the business of what they're doing and then bring that into online marketing. Another interesting thing that you mentioned is that you can't automate social media. Talk to us about that.
So, I get a lot of, I've got a few followers on Twitter, and I've got a few friends on Facebook, and it's amazing how often when I will follow someone, I'll friend someone, and I'll get an automated message back. And I keep thinking, well, there's obviously a misunderstanding in what the purpose of social media is. The operative word in social media is social. It's our opportunity to connect with people. And too often we look at something like social media as simply a marketing tool, or even worse, an advertising tool, a tool that's purpose is only to drive traffic to what we want people to do. And so we therefore start to automate it. We automate content writing. We automate follower building. We automate this connection and direct messaging. And you can always tell when someone is automating their message when every post links in Twitter links to Facebook, or every post is generated because of something that was said elsewhere. Everybody, these collaboration sites that they take all of your information and combine it into one feed and then tweet for you. It's a big mistake because we miss that human element. We miss that opportunity to connect with people one-on-one. And if we can't connect with our audience, if we can't communicate with them, whether digitally or as we're doing here in this video conference now, we miss something about what it means to be human. And when we miss that human connection, we miss the opportunity to really provide the great customer service that our clients deserve. We miss the opportunity to sell products in a way that's meaningful to people, opposed to just throwing product out there and hoping it sticks.
And there's certainly a lot of noise going on, that's for sure, and it's easy to get lost in the noise. So in your opinion, and mine as well, if you can do things correctly, you're really going to stand above the noise. Is that correct?
Absolutely. You have to be willing to take the time to invest the time necessary to connect with people at the level that they want. If they want to communicate via email, you need to be willing as a marketer to communicate with them via email. If they want to talk to you on the phone, you have to be willing to pick up the phone and talk to them. There are sometimes some limits that you have to put. Sometimes people push a little too hard. But you have to be willing to meet people on their level. And social media is a tool that allows you to do that, but it should not supplant real conversation.
Yeah, sure. And that makes a lot of sense. It's funny, and you've sort of touched on this. It's you friend someone on Facebook, or you like them, or you find them on Twitter, and their automated response comes back and says, "Hey, thanks for joining me on Twitter. Here, go to my Facebook page." You go to their Facebook page and it says, "Hey, here's my website." You go to the website, it's like, "Hey, check me out on YouTube." It's like, for goodness sake, how do I get in touch with this person? I just want to pick up the phone and talk to them. And it's a bit of a wild goose chase in that sense. You just want to get back to the basics. You want to pick up the phone and talk to the CEO, talk to customer service. You don't want to go in a big circle to try and make it happen. So. And you're right, you've got to understand, what is it that people want to do? How do they want to communicate? Do people want to talk to you by email? Do they want to talk to you on Twitter? Do they want to pick up the phone? Do they want to send a contact form? So yes, it's great to have all of these things. Because some people will use Facebook, some people Twitter, some LinkedIn, whatever. So it's great to have all those things in the mix, but you also need to use them correctly and find out what it is that each potential client wants to use and how they want to use it, and cater for that need. So your book talks obviously about the strategies and how to use them correctly. What kind of tips can you give to a CEO or a business owner about their online marketing that perhaps we wouldn't expect to find in a normal technical type of book?
Yeah, so our ideal client are small to medium businesses. We do a little bit of work for large corporations, but our best work comes for the small and medium business that seem to be forgotten. You might be able to find the guy working in his underwear out of his basement, but he's not going to have the breadth of experience nor the team behind him that's going to allow you to really be successful. Or you can go to the major corporate advertising agency that is going to focus on traditional first, and then bring that interactive component in as almost an afterthought. So when we focus on that small to medium business, what I try and help my customers understand is that it's not the CEO's job to understand the technical. It's not the marketing director's job to understand all of the variations. whether it's in WordPress or Drupal or Joomla or .NET, none of those technologies should ever matter to the CEO. What should matter to the CEO is, I have a business objective. Can you meet that business objective? That's all I care about. Then the professionals should come in and guide them through that process. Years ago, I had a salesman that worked for me who was very quick to tell people what technologies we used. And the moment he would start talking with the acronyms and the letters of all the different programming languages that we use, instantly the prospect's eyes would glaze over. And so what's unique about this book, I think, is I've approached it from a perspective of, it doesn't teach you how to do anything. It teaches you how to think about everything. It's a strategic book about web. And because it's for the CEO, we've put pictures in it to make sure that the CEO can read along. But it's designed in such a way that the CEO can understand how to have an effective BS meter, how to say, yes, that makes sense, or no, that doesn't make sense, try again. We want the CEO to be the king of his company. We want the marketing director to be the queen of the roost, so to speak. We want them to have these opportunities to be successful, but we want them to be successful by getting the professionals to do it. If that means hiring someone on staff, great, do it. If it means hiring a company like mine, great. We stand ready to help. But when a company CEO is struggling and she needs some help, then she needs to be willing to hire the professionals.
Absolutely, and that makes perfect sense. So, as a CEO of a company, I'm not interested in how things get done. I just want them done. I have an objective. I want an end result. Why do I care? If it comes to a website, do I care if it's developed in WordPress or Joomla or Drupal? If it's a shopping cart, do I care if it's OpenCart or something else? No, I just care about the end result. I shouldn't allow my web developer to run my business, right?
Right.
And then I shouldn't.
Exactly right.
And as a CEO, I shouldn't be getting involved in PHP programming either, should I?
But what's amazing is how many CEOs try to take that lead. I've got the quote in my book, but a couple of years ago I saw an awful logo on the side of a truck, and the first thing that went through my mind was, oh, the CEO must have designed that one.
Yeah.
A CEO is not supposed to design logos. A CEO doesn't write marketing copy. A CEO doesn't build websites. A CEO leads the business. And where I have an advantage is I have a business background. And so I lead my business, and I talk to my clients as a business owner talking to a business owner. And it makes all the difference in the world because I understand the space that they should be living in. They shouldn't be living in my world. I live in my world, they live in their world, and we help them bridge that gap.
Sure. And I guess on the other side of the equation, it's probably just as frustrating for a web developer who's getting a lot of input from the CEO. If you're a web developer and you specialize, or you're a web designer and you specialize in building great WordPress sites, you're a PHP programmer, you're an ASP programmer, whatever, from a technical standpoint, you don't want the CEO coming and telling you how to write lines of code. If you're a designer, you don't really want the CEO or the business manager coming saying, oh, I think there should be a lighter shade of green and that blue doesn't go with that color there. It's like, I'm a designer. You run the business. Let me do what I want to do. So it works both ways. So I think, and your book explains it well, let the CEO run the business and do the job that he needs to do and is obviously doing a great job at doing. Let the designer do the design, let the web programmer do the web programming, let the technical people do what they do. And so you've really made the distinction in your book, which is great. So get out of each other's way and let the business run the business, yeah?
So in my book, I break down into three distinct roles. The CEO, the marketing director, and then the web developer, which includes content writing, design, programming. And I've equated this to building a home. A few years ago, I decided to build my own home, and I hired a general contractor. And I hired a general contractor who also hired a designer, an architect. And as the homeowner, I was equated then to the CEO. I had a vision. I had something very specific that I wanted. But did I necessarily care what gauge wire they put in the wall? Do I care what kind of plumbing they do or where they put the ductwork? What I want is I want a beautiful home at the end. The general contractor's job is to put everything together and make sure all the pieces talk. And that's like the marketing director. That person's job is to make sure that everything fits together properly. And then we've got the architect whose job is to make sure that the design itself makes sense. So the homeowner and the architect work together to design the system. The general contractor then puts all those pieces together. And we want the web developer to be able to be that general contractor and put all those pieces properly together.
Sure. So certainly give the direction from the top and then stand out of the way and let him do his job.
Exactly. I had a good friend on Twitter just today, and we were struggling with a marketing director who I think what ends up happening is marketing directors now are trying to justify their positions because they don't understand the web tools as much as they should. But he said a marketing director who overthinks causes as much damage to a business as a financial director when he underthinks.
Okay.
We need those marketing directors to understand that the concepts are the same. The concepts are no different than they used to be. What's different are the tools that we use to accomplish those things.
Sure. Awesome. Corey, what's happened there? The lights went out. Is that our cue? Is it time? Corey, where can we get a copy of your book?
So you can obviously go to my website, which is an easy place at corysmith.ws.
Yep.
It is available on Amazon.
Yep.
If you're in the United States, my website's probably the best place to get it. We offer free shipping anywhere in the United States. If you're international, Amazon.com is the way to go. I also have on Amazon a book called Tweet It Right, a CEO's Guide to Twitter,
Nice.
which is a Kindle-only version of the book, and it's 99 cents because Amazon wouldn't let me give it away for free. So it's a great way to get started in Twitter as well.
Well, Amazon have to make money, right?
That's right.
They're
They've got to
struggling.
make their few bucks. As many books as I've sold there, I think I've made $4 in change because they don't pay me anything for that book.
Awesome. Corey, and I'll put a link at the bottom of this video as well where people can go to get a copy of your book, and I strongly suggest they do. It's written in plain English, and like you said, it's got lots of pictures for the CEO as well.
Right.
And you've used a fair bit of humor. It's very, very easy to read. It's an exciting book. There's a lot of awesome concepts in it. And it's a fresh approach because, like you've said, and we've already touched on, it's aimed at the business owner and the CEO. It's not technical. It's the stuff you need to know, not the stuff that really makes no sense and doesn't matter. So, Corey, it's been great having you on the Web Marketing Show today. I think you've got a really awesome approach. After people have bought your book and read your book and they need help along the way or any further advice, what sort of services do you offer?
So Tribute Media is the name of my company.
Yep.
We're found at tributemedia.com. We provide web services for companies all over the world. We specialize in design, so a lot of front-end development, but also we have a very strong marketing team. We help people with search engine optimization. We also help them with email marketing, social media marketing, pay-per-click advertising. Essentially, anything you need to get your small business to be successful on the web, that's what we do.
Awesome. And I've had a look at your site and some of the sites that you've built for clients, and they're very, very, very nice looking sites, very fresh.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Corey, it's been great having you on the show. We appreciate your time. I've got the link at the bottom of this video, and please go along and grab Corey's book. It's a great read, and I think you'll get something of great benefit out of it as a CEO, business owner, or even if you are technical. I mean, you've still got to understand the business, right? As a technician, you still need to know why the pieces need to go together. Corey,
Absolutely.
thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, Brent.
Awesome.